This is going to be my Death Stranding 2 review, and I am excited to be back today if I can get the words out. It's actually really exciting. I haven't made a video in a really long time on this gaming channel, and it's been really interesting over the last year. I had to really think about it. I'm kind of happy I have. I was working 60 to 70 hours last year, mostly every week, and I just really didn't have time to really beat the game. I didn't beat this game, I think, until right before Christmas last year, and I put 120 hours into it just to platinum. It took forever. It took me about 6 months to beat this game. And that's the problem, I just always wanted to make the video. I never had time to really even give my thoughts and opinion on it. And that's what we're going to be doing here today. And the first thing I really just want to discuss, honestly, as we get right into this, is going to be the story, right? Now, I'm a big fan of Death Stranding 1. The first game, as we all know, just got a bunch of hate. And I understood what people were trying to say, and also people were just kind of pissed with Kojima and stuff like that. And my favorite part of the first game was the story. And it was during a time, I think if some of you guys remember, it was like late 2019 going into 2020. And I was 18 at the time, right? And I had to like look back, think about this while I was writing this video out. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, that game really did change my life. And there's a big reason why I love that game so much. I actually have it on my channel, which is even crazy to say. This game's 7 years old now, the first game. And I'm just shocked how time just flies, right? Because I was 18 at the time, and it's kind of cool. So I'm kind of happy to have this channel too. It's just that I can always go back and think like, what was I thinking at 18, and hear myself at 18 years old. Because I'm 25 now, which sounds crazy. I've had the channel on I think for 10 years. This year will be my 10th anniversary here. I don't really make a lot of videos and all that other stuff. I like to do things that I find interesting. If I had a little bit more time to play games and stuff. But let's go right into the review. So the story. It picks off 2 years after Death Stranding 1, and Sam is living by himself, right, with Lou. So that's like the coolest part of the game, like you'll see right in the background. This is my favorite part of the game just to start off. The graphics are amazing. I loved how Sam looked too with the outfit. I don't understand how he never got the trench coat. Like I even got like a bunch of likes on Instagram. I was like, I commented, I'm like, yo, when are we going to get the trench coat? It looks so badass. It's like the first game. We got the cool gray suit. And I don't know why Kojima's never given us this, by the way. He really needs to. Anyway, going into the story, Sam, so Fragile shows up, things happen. Eventually, she actually gets shot and wounded. She loses Lou. I was going to say BB. She loses Lou, and Sam eventually gets depressed. It's been months later. I think it's actually 6 months later, and he has gray hair and everything like that. She eventually convinces him to go to the chiral network, set up Mexico, and then eventually go to Australia, right? And that's a cool part of the game. I actually like the difference, I really did like Australia. It was a lot different. It was a lot bigger, too, compared to the first game. It wasn't just more sorely a condensed area. Like, the first game is kind of really small. You can drive around really quickly. The traversal is kind of more annoying in the first game, too. There's so many damn rocks. I went back and played the first game because I was trying to make the video last year around this time. Like, right after I beat the game, I was like, all right, I'm going to go back and compare the first game. And the main problem was, right, the traversal's so bad in the first game. And I'm just like, wow, I'm like, there really is a huge difference. Like, you're hitting rocks every 2 seconds with the bikes. This game, it's a little bit more open. The only thing, like, as I was, like, starting the game off, right, is you fall a lot, you trip and everything, which is, you're supposed to, right? You're building Sam's level back up, which is fine. I have no issue with it. But just something that was really annoying. I think in this video, if I remember this correctly, I might fall and die in a second. I was like, what the hell? But also, as we like venture out, Sam has not. He goes through pretty much the stages of grievances, right? Which is really cool and interesting. I think a lot of us can relate to that, right? If we go through like a death in the family, a breakup, or anything like that. Which this game it's really cool, right? As I know I'm talking about myself here a lot. It's just the first game really resonated with me when I was 18. I was depressed and I didn't know where I was going to go in life, and I was really just nervous, right? About like where I was setting off to. The second game actually really resonated with me again. It's at a time again where I needed this, right? I was going through a really bad breakup at this time, and it was really cool just to have that. I was feeling what Sam was feeling. He's a character you really can relate to, and that's the reason why I love Norman Reedus too, portraying Sam. It's just you really can relate to Sam throughout the whole game, and that's the reason why I love the story of Death Stranding. It's just something that you can actually like be like, you know what, this is incredible. Like, it's incredible. If he can do this, I can do this. At the end of the day, I can push forward in my life. It's just simple things like that. But as we venture off into Australia, you start to meet other characters as well. You meet Rainey, Dollman, Higgs is back, Neil, Lucy, Lou, which eventually you meet as Tomorrow, which is actually kind of crazy. So you actually find out later at the end of the game. But just building up into this, right? The main story, because that's all I focused on throughout this entire game, it's roughly 16 hours to 20 hours. It took me 16 or 18 hours this time around. And I'm gonna be honest with the whole entire story, right? When you go into Australia, it's nice. The problem is some of the side missions do glitch out, but as you get into Australia, I was a little disappointed that there was no Dead Man. You get a little bit of Heartman too. Dead Man's barely in the game. He's in there for every now and again. He's actually dead this time around, which seems crazy. Dollman was a great addition, though. I will say that. I really enjoyed Dollman. Or Tarman, too. Tarman had a great storyline. Like, I didn't find this to the end of the game. I saw a video go out last year, and they're like, hey, there's a a Tarman side Easter egg. And you learn his backstory, how he lost his hand and everything. I'm like, oh, this is actually sick. I wish they kind of, like, I don't want to say force fed you or like held your hand to find this, little hidden cutscene, but it would have been kind of nice to be like, oh, it's part of the main story or something. But they actually had a lot of side quests in this game compared to the first game, which I actually really did enjoy. It was really cool to see that. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to complain. You always had to go to like, some other like factory or whatever. You had oh god, was it the Ninja Ghost or the Ghost Ninja? I forgot what that one was. This dude, you had to do like a racing thing. You had to kill these like robotic bikes and stuff. Like the side quests in this game were immensely better. I will say that. Like throughout this entire game, like as I'm sitting here thinking now, the side quests were amazing, right? And the game felt a little bit more open. It was nice with that part. There was so much more to do, and I love that. There was different variations. It wasn't the same repetitive missions over and over and over again like the first game. Like you don't really get bored playing this game compared to the first one. Like the combat is so much better. Like I had to go back when I was playing Death Stranding 1 last year. I was just like, yeah, I was like, this game is immensely better. Now the only thing as I'm thinking about this now, I know I'm bouncing all over the place. It's like how I do my reviews, even though it gets a little bit more fun. It's more authentic. It's just the story didn't hit as well. Like it's still decent. It's just the first game had so much mystery. Like the main mystery in this game you find out is that Lou is Sam's daughter, which was awesome. That was also the theory back in the day too. I remember that like 7 years ago, people were talking about. They're like, "Oh, is Lou actually Sam's daughter?" Turns out it is true, and I was actually happy they did that. I was like, "Oh, that's cool." Neil pretty much takes place of Sam Unger, or is it Sam Unger, or is that Sam's name? I forget his father's name now, but he takes over Unger, or I guess you could call him. Man, what was his name in the first game? I can't remember now. Mads Mikkelsen's character. I remember his name was Unger. Like that was their last name. But anyway, just thinking about that. So Neil takes over his like whole entire missions, which I didn't mind that. At first I was kind of annoyed. I'm like, well, that's kind of repetitive like the first game. I'm like, where's the variation? But as you learn, Sam gets pissed off because he's like, oh my God, he's like, his wife cheated on him, which is Lucy. Turns out, they actually didn't have like a relationship like that. Or actually they did, but it's like, if I remember correctly. But Sam still finds out that Lou is his daughter no matter what. It was just awesome to hear that, no matter what we see the flashback and the cutscenes. And as I was sitting there thinking about it, I'm like, man, this is crazy. Because then you also have, God, what's his name? When you have the president scene, it was so weird, the singing and everything like that. They start singing BB's theme. And I was like, what is going on? Like, I even uploaded that. I'm like, what is happening here? Which I didn't mind. It was kind of cool and interesting how like corny this game became a little bit in a sense, which I don't mind, right? That's something that Kojima is like, in this game alone at Death Stranding 2, he had a lot of like dialogue that was kind of like cringy, which is not, I shouldn't say cringy, but it was corny, which I was kind of shocked about because the first game felt very serious. And, you had your little funny elements at time in the first game, but this game had a little bit more like, let's try to dial it back, make it a little bit more less serious so there's not so much content. And I guess you would just say, heartbreak, I guess, because the first game is it's a very heavy, deep game, I would say. A lot of people might not agree with that, but I just think the first game, it was so much more meaningful, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't mind it. Like, in the first game with Sam, right, you had his opposite, which was Higgs. Higgs in this game is awesome, too, by the way. The boss battle at the end is incredible. I really enjoyed that. It's just the whole entire game I did love. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to just hate on it. Sounds like it, right? Especially when we lose Fragile. That was the best cutscene in the game, I would probably have to argue at the end. When Fragile dies, I was just like, what? I was hoping to see her in the third game at least, or her and Sam would eventually become something, but they don't. And, I don't think it pissed me off too much, but it was just something like, did we really have to kill Fragile off? Maybe she didn't want to come back for the third game, because we know they're doing a third, but I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are down below on that part. It was really weird just to kill a Fragile that quick. Like, we know she got shot by Higgs in the beginning, and then she was eventually dying throughout the whole game. That's why she couldn't beach jump as much or whatever, because it was just killing her. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about the one thing too, is just that it's really weird, more so the ending, right? because it makes you think. The first game was about humanity. Can it survive, without connection? You get the connection. This game was about, is connection good enough, right? Is connection, and this is something that actually we can all relate to as well. Is connection's always worth the pain that comes with it, right? And I thought about that, like when I was playing this game last year. I'm like, it makes sense. It's still a good story. I really did enjoy that part. It's like you're questioning it. It's like no matter what or who you connect to in life, right? You're still going to have that pain or whatever that comes with it. And I was thinking about this. I was like, damn, I was like, this game came out right at a time I needed it. And I think a lot of people can relate to this in their life and such like that, especially what Sam wanted and everything he lost, and he still powers through. And that's the reason why I love the Death Stranding games. It's really just powering through life, and it's just, you have to get through it no matter what, all the things that we go through in life. But yeah, I mean, because Sam spends like, a few part of the game just bitter, like, and heartbroken. And then he finds out, right, that because he thinks that BB's alive in the pod. And at first I was so confused. I was like, wait, I'm like, is he imagining all this, obviously? Or is he really just heartbroken? And he hasn't even noticed what he's going through? Or is it like at first I thought this was going to be a flashback through the whole game. I'm not even joking. I'm so glad I didn't see any leaks or anything last year. I really thought it was all flashbacks at first. I'm like, wait, this is a flashback here? Like, what are we doing? Turns out, no, this actually was happening. He was just imagining Lou the entire time. And that doll man and like all of them were helping him see like the BTs and everything, which was so cool. I actually really did like that part where Sam really just loses it in the bathroom and everything. Or I think it was, yeah, like he's in the shower, he loses it. But let me know what you think, down below. I really want to know what you guys think. I still think everything was still pretty good in this game. I would give it a 9.5 out of 10. The only thing for me is that the story felt a bit lackluster compared to the first game. Maybe because of the mystery. There was a lot more like combat stuff and like delivering to, like, I guess you'd say mechanics that were immensely better. You had a lot more better equipment. I love the rail lines. Those were insanely cool. I like that you can have a pistol on your sidearm at all times now. That was better because there was times where I had no weapons on me and I forgot. I'm like, oh, I had the revolver. I could just use that. Or if you had like the suppressed revolver too, I'm pretty sure you can get that unlocked. You could just go into camps, you take everybody out with the suppressor, grab what you need and leave. Insanely better. Like they really kind of... I wouldn't say it went full Metal Gear Solid, but I didn't mind that. Like they're like hinting it a little bit as well. Kojima. It's just a great game. Let me know what you guys think down below. Seriously, what do you think they can do better for Death Stranding 3? I guess we could talk about that a little bit too. I think that at the end of the game we see Lou on the beach with just sitting there. My only problem is right with this. I don't really want to see her as the main character in the third game. I don't mind her as a character, Lou, in Tomorrow, whatever you want to call her. I think there's just a better connection with her and Sam. It's... The thing is with the Death Stranding games, you play like by yourself. That's the whole point of it. It's isolation. It's alienating. Sam is something that we've grown apart to. I don't want to see him dead or something. I don't think Kojima's an idiot to be like Neil Druckmann, where he's just going to kill off Sam immediately the first hour in the game, or he's already dead. I would like to see Sam come back. I wouldn't mind. If we have to play this tomorrow, it's fine. We can do it. But I really just don't want to see Sam dead. I like him too much. He's a fun character. A lot of people say he's boring and lame. I just don't think he is. I think he's just a very hardcore introvert who doesn't like to speak much. Who we kind of relate to. He's been through so much pain. He's just like, fuck it, this is my life. But yeah, I really enjoyed the game. Combat's immensely better. The story was pretty good. I know I'm probably missing a couple things. I really did like the mechanics a lot better as well. It's just, the rail lines were my favorite thing in the game. I built so much of that. I wasted so much time building the rail lines all over Australia. It was so fun. The only problem I really had, now I'm thinking about it, with the traversal, was the bikes were trash in this game. I don't know what the problem was. Like, there's no reason why you should even take the bike. The truck was immensely better. You can stack up, I think that's 30 to 40 items, I could be wrong on that, into the truck. There's no point. And you could put how many long-range batteries on that thing? You could drive all the way across the map with the truck. You wouldn't even have to worry about charging it once. So that was one thing I was really disappointed with the bike. You couldn't do as much. You couldn't put even equipment on it. There should have been some upgrades to it. I don't know what they were really thinking with that part. And the bike wasn't even as cool as the first game. Like, the first game was actually kind of like a full motorcycle. I know I'm bitching about this a little bit. But that was like the only thing with the traversal part I really did enjoy. But other than that, it's going to be my review in the game. I would give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it. I know I kind of repeated myself and such. But hey, this is life, right? I'm just trying to be authentic here. But Have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. I'm gonna come back, start doing other videos. You'll eventually see them come out. I would say maybe weekly. I don't know. It's kind of, I don't want to hold up too much of your time and stuff on that stuff, but I would say I also have another YouTube channel. It'll be down below. I just talk about life and have some fun and some YouTube stuff. That'll be in the description. So other than that, love you guys. Have a great day. Hope you're doing well out there. Peace.